I don't have a remote. I'm the commentator. I don't have the... Hey, I'll use this, the remote. Fucking idiot. Huh? Yeah, I know. Hang on.
Alright, at least we've got a commentator just general noise at the moment. Effects mic is on.
Hang on. Test 1, 2, 3, Deputy Talia, let's go. You want me to build up a little bit? Yeah. 3, 2, 1, here we go. Lovely football from APIA. Beautiful build-up play, and it's hit over the bar. Can you believe it? You want me a bit more?
So is that good, Lisa? Beautiful. Okay, no worries. I'll just turn off that.
Lovely.
Do you reckon I'll do that half time?
No, I think it's just pre-game.
I think it's just pre-game.
The lady just abused him
For the sprinkler?
Did you? Why did you have it on, mate?
Hang on, let me get my remote out.
You wanted to get wet.
Let's go! Oh. Oh, well. The 88th Australian Derby d'Italia has been billed as un assaggio di Serie B, a taste of the second division. You can't get excited about the future without acknowledging the foundations of these two great Italo-Australian football clubs who were formed by Italian migrants who came to Australia in the 1950s. For these migrants, football was a sense of community. Football was home. They would go on to form two of Australia's most iconic football factories, APIA Leichhardt Football Club and the Marconi Stallions, who have gone on to house some of Australia and abroad's most famous footballers. Fast forward to 2025, today at Lambert Park, and Italo-Australian football is thriving in New South Wales. We take a quick moment to honour our Anzacs. Beautiful Anzac ceremony there, and while we celebrate today, we can never forget on this Anzac weekend those servicemen and women who've paid the ultimate sacrifice so that we can live in the best country in the world and enjoy some Derby d'Italia football on this special Anzac Day weekend. Italo-Australian football is thriving in New South Wales. We have the last two winners of the NPL competition here in this great state, locking horns at Lambert. 2023 champions and defending Waratah Cup champions, APIA Leichhardt Football Club host the reigning, defending, and currently in 2025 undefeated 2024 champions, the Marconi Stallions, in the 88th Australian Derby d'Italia. Our referee for this great derby is Ivica Kovic. Thankfully, the rain has stayed away. We had monsoonal rain early this morning, which I was worried might have scared some people off, but I think once everyone realised that the rain hopefully has stayed away, they've poured in late. Teams now getting their final preparations ready for this huge clash. Let me run through the team lineups. Big out for APIA. They make one change. No Jack Stewart, but a very handy replacement. Let's start in goals. Oliver Kalatz is between the sticks. Seiya Kambayashi is in red-hot goal-scoring form. He's in number 2. A man who's played in plenty of these derbies. Josh Simmons is number 4. His centre-back partner is Anthony Sparacino. Joe Bertolicio is quickly making a name for himself. He's number 8. Presley Ortiz is in 9. Into the lineup for Jack Stewart is number 11, Rory Jordan. Sean Simmons is 16. Jordan Segredo is 17. The captain is Adrian Uchino, and the 11 is rounded off by Eddie Kaspers. These teams have met 87 times before, dating back to 1970. Head-to-head, almost impossible to split. APIA have won 35. Marconi have won 34. And it is the home team that get us underway, going from right to left on your screen. Anthony Spartacino goes long straight away. APIA in their traditional claret and light blue. Beautiful back heel from Seiya Kambayashi. Marconi in their very slick away hit. Marconi unchanged from the team that beat the Central Coast Mariners by 3-0. I'll run through their lineup very, very quickly and get back to the action. It's James Hilton in number 1. Tyron Burney, what a signing. He's been in number 2. Still no Anton Mlinaric, so Cameron Windust, who did score in this game in the Australia Cup, he's in number 3 as his team go long and the ball falls to Marco Jesic. Lachlan Griffiths is in number 5. Dom Costanzo, one of the most electrifying players in this competition. He's going to have an early shot. It takes a ricochet. It falls to Tyron Burney, and a great save early by Oliver Kalatz. And Marconi, after a Dom Costanzo shot that was deflected, nearly got a gift, an opening goal inside a minute in this Derby d'Italia. Electrifying start to this game. The hype is definitely real. The buzz has been electric. And the crowd is really starting to fill up either side of me. The camera doesn't do it justice because the fans are sitting on the camera side, but I'm not complaining because I have the best seat in the house, sitting on top of the action. Let me get back to that lineup. Dom Costanzo, the man that started that great chance. He is in number 6. James Bayliss is in number 8. The ageless captain Marco Jesic is in number 10. Jake Drew is in number 14. Fresh off his goal last week, George Daniel is in 18. Mr. Marconi, Brandon Vella is in 23. And Mate Busek rounds out the 11. These teams met 3 times last year, both winning 1 each in the league. APIA got the tiebreaker, winning in extra time here in the Australia Cup as Mate Busek pleads his case with the 4th official. Look at that. Sean Simmons taking the throw right in front of the fans, getting a little high five in there as well with the APIA faithful. There's a little bit of an APIA Ultras section behind Oliver Kalatz's goal, which is great to see. There's buzz in Australian football at the moment with the 2nd division. Lovely feet from Jordan Segredo. And here is Rory Jordan. So back to Segredo. Continuing where he left off last season, Rory Jordan finds Seiya Kambayashi. Lovely back heel for Kaspers, and it rattles off the crossbar. Apologies for the crazy pitching in my voice, but we've had a crazy start to this game. Eddie Kaspers with an absolute rocket which cannons off the crossbar. James Hilton was fully stretched, but if that was 15 centimetres a little bit lower, that was rattling off the crossbar and going in. Instead it ricochets out, but APIA do have a corner. Wow. Crazy start to this game. Marconi with an early chance. APIA answers straight back. Looping ball to the back post with Simmons. Josh on the ball now after Sean had the shot. Twins are 2 of the all-time greats at this club. Adrian Uchino, definitely one of them as well. Of course, their manager, Franco Parisi. Number 10 retired by the club, absolute legend of the club, and then made a seamless transition into management, winning in 2023. Wants to get back, put APIA back where he feels like they belong, and that is number 1 in New South Wales. He loves this term. Apologies if you think this word is inappropriate, but sexy football. That's his motto in 2025, and I tell you what, he's lived up to that in the opening 5 minutes or so to this game. Crazy start. Of course, every game of this 30-round season will be live and free on YouTube. Doesn't get much better than that. And you'll be seeing both of these teams in the Serie B, the Australian Championship, the 2nd division. Here's Sparacino on the ball now. Plays Josh Simmons, of course. APIA going to be without Temba Moatamalo for the rest of the season. Heartbreaking ACL injury he suffered against Sydney United. Spoke to Franco Parisi a couple of weeks ago, and he said it's so important having Anthony Sparacino back, gives him a left-footed centre-back as well. Drayden Kelly, their Canadian signing as well, is going to be important. He's on the bench today as they loop it forward to Rory Jordan, who tokes it forward for Presley Ortiz! And he drags his shot wide. Presley Ortiz is in goal-scoring form, and he thought for a half second he had his 10th goal of the season. But he puts it wide, and after nearly conceding the opening goal in the first minute, APIA have hit back and nearly scored on 2 occasions. First, Casper's rattling one off the crossbar, and Presley Ortiz, who you might look on Dribble or Football New South Wales website, they have him down for 8 goals. But they didn't count his goal last week against Manly. I'm adamant, as are APIA, that he scored in that 2-1 win. Of course, he's a former Manly player, so that would bring his tally to 9 goals. Second behind the ever-present Golden Boot winner, Ali Kurushevsky. It seems like once again no one's going to be catching him. As I tell you what, some catching practice for the people in the crowd. A couple balls have flown in there. Everyone's on their toes after this great start. The APIA Ultras as well, in full voice. There's some flags. Someone's got a megaphone. As Vela goes long, and you want to talk about Mr. Marconi. He brought up 250 games for Marconi last season. He became the first player to ever do that in the history of this great football club. Record winners of the NSL. A Socceroos factory. It has so many iconic names from Mark Schwarzer, Paul Ocon, Matty Ryan, even Bob Bovieri. Brendan Vela's name stood out amongst the pack. First player to reach 250 games for the Marconi Stallions. Marko Jesic shortly followed suit as he tugs that one forward for Jake True, who looked offside, and the touchy had the best view in the house, right next to me actually. Put his flag up straight away, and this league is so open this season. Of course, finals football means teams can win it from anywhere as long as they get into the top 6. Marconi winning it last season from second position. And that just shows you how wide open this competition is. APIA did look like at stages in 2024, it looked like they were going to be going back to the promised land, maybe even a Derby d'Italia final, but playing so much football, a long cup run. Waratah Cup win as well as they go long. Just ran out of steam towards the back end and were eventually knocked out of the finals by Sydney United. Couple big outs for these teams. Jack Stewart has become an honorary Italian. Giacomo Stewart, they call him here in Haberfield. He's out today, nursing a calf injury, I've been told, so get well soon, Jack. Great player since signing from Mount Druitt. It's great for Mount Druitt as well, but he's gone to another level as that one sent high and far and ends up nearly landing on Ramsey Street. Beautiful scenes here on a Sunday afternoon. For a second I thought the weather gods dealt us a cruel blow. Monsoonal weather early in the morning, but that subsided. Here's Busek looking for Jake True. Came over from Wollongong, double-digit goals last season. He sends it long, and 2 veterans going for the ball there, and Josh Simmons gets ahead of Marko Jesic, who is showing no signs of slowing down. Had one of the best seasons of his career last season, en route to winning the title, but his team is on the back foot here. Ortiz tries to square it up for Kambayashi. It might still fall for him. Daniel gets there first, and Marconi try to play their way out of trouble. Gonna run straight into Kaspers, and Vela drags him down right in front of Ivica, who might just give Mr. Marconi a little word. No card for Marconi's number 23, and they take the free kick quickly. You just joined us, you missed a electrifying start to this game, and low cross was looking for Presley Ortiz, but Griffith sends that one out for a corner. Just going to be taken by Seiya Kambayashi. Set up a goal from a set piece last week against Manly. Also scored against his former club. He is in red-hot goal-scoring form. Can he be the provider this time? Same Seiya Kambayashi's corner for APIA. Can they get a reward for this red-hot start? Griffiths leaps up above the pack, and I have a feeling that may cross the line for a goal kick. Which will be taken by James Hilton. Something has to give in this game because you have New South Wales' best attack going up. It's New South Wales' best defence. APIA with the best attack. Marconi came into this game having only conceded 7 goals in their opening 11 games. So any worry that there'd be a championship hangover have been dispelled very quickly because they've passed every test so far in the opening third of the season. Came into this game on top, 5 points clear, 8 wins and 3 draws, but passing every title test, winning the grand final rematch at Rockdale, defeating the Spirit when they were undefeated as Simmons and Yesic go head to head there, and I nearly had a catch. So far, so good for Marconi in season 2025. They, like APIA, played midweek in the Australia Cup. 4-1 win over Prospect United after being 4-0 up at half-time, which is exactly what manager Peter Sakanis would have wanted. Rotating his team. APIA had a very strange trip to Macedonia Park in Wollongong. They were up 3-0, and after 42 minutes, the game got suspended because of lightning. But APIA, just like they were against Nepean in the previous round of the Australia Cup, were in a mood, scoring 3 goals in the opening 40 minutes. And here they are today, looking to deal their Italo-Australian cousins their first loss of the season. Rory Jordan in for the injured Jack Stewart. If you're just joining us now, 1 change for APIA, none for Marconi. If it's not broken, why would Peter Sakanis fix it? Seiya Kambayashi going up against Tyrone Burney. What a signing he's been from Blackburn. Lovely football from True. Finds Yesic looking for the switch to Costanzo. An interrupted start to the season, missed the opening 3 games, but he is one of the can't-miss players in this competition. Every time he touches the ball, your eyes have to be glued to the Marconi winger, one of the best players in this competition. Slightly under-hit pass for Busek, and it goes out for a throw. Mentioned Rory Jordan. Talk about the depth that both these teams have. Being able to call on a player like him to replace Jack Stewart, the ex-Newcastle Jet, would easily walk into almost every team, I'd say, in this competition. Finds himself on the left, deputising for Stewart. Hilton came off his line. Despite the monsoonal rain, we had a very weird practice. The pitch still got watered pre-game, which sent everyone into hysteria. Kids that were playing on the field ducked for cover. My cameraman had to get his umbrella out. Smart thinking from him. The pitch should be nice and slick. Throw taken by Marconi. Chino dispossessed. Sparacino gets a foot in. Caspers looks to go long for Ortiz. And Ortiz there. Well-watered grass, picked that one up and put it straight into the hands of Hilton. Busek. Lovely feet by Mate Busek. Looks up and he's looking for Marko Jesic, but that one skips past him and goes to Oliver Kalatz, who was involved in a very contentious game here, that final where his former club Sydney United knocked APIA out. Now, APIA will say that there was a chance when that game was 0-0 that crossed the line. Now, I don't want to create controversy, but I'm sure Oliver had the best seat in the house. And I'm sure the boys have asked him since he made the move over to APIA. Come on, Ollie. That one crossed the line. It looked like it did from my angle anyway. Switch 4, the February defender of the month, Tyron Burney. He's on the ball going up against Sean Simmons, and he skips past him and wins a foul. Lovely work from the Marconi defender. He's really making a name for himself this season and staking a claim at being one of the signings of the season as well. Marconi have the 2 reigning defenders of the month. March was Anton Mlinaric, he's out today. And February is Mr. Tyron Burney. It's going to be James Bayliss to take the free kick. Marconi have withstood a good spell of APIA pressure. Looking to dish some back here and get the opening goal of this Derby d'Italia right in front of those APIA ultras. We're making plenty of noise. This 88th Derby d'Italia, the first one of 2025. Will we have our first goal? Little stutter step from Bayliss. Sends it goalward, but headed away. APIA stand tall to the delight of their ultras. Behind the goal, it's going to be Marko Jesic. The away team in the league won both Derby d'Italias last season. Marconi ran out 4-1 winners here at Lambert in the league. Tussle there with Windust. Manages to get a header on that one. Danger not cleared completely. Ball sent away now to George Daniel, goal scorer last week. Vela played in countless Derby d'Italias, chips it forward for Marko Jesic. Flag stays down, great run from the number 10. He whips the ball in, and Marconi have the opening goal. Beautiful football down this right-hand side. Marko Jesic with a perfect cross for True. And Jake True puts Marconi into the lead in this Derby d'Italia. Lovely football down the right-hand side and a room service cross by Marko Jesic, the captain. Is guided in by Jake True, and Marconi lead APIA. And after withstanding good spell of APIA pressure, Marconi, the reigning champions, the undefeated champions, take the lead here at Lambert. The home crowd is stunned. A hush has descended over Lambert. Marconi stunning APIA, but here they are on the attack straight away. Bit of space for Rory Jordan. Great touch, but Burney came back. Here is Caspers, who rattled the crossbar in the opening couple of minutes. He thought he was fouled. Marko Jesic gets a ball to Costanzo. While APIA are complaining, Marconi are attacking and pressing for a second, and this game gets the goal that it deserved. Fantastic opening to this game. We nearly had a goal in the opening minute. Couple chances for APIA. We nearly had a golazo from Eddie Caspers. Good chance for Presley Ortiz, but the ageless Marko Jesic. With a great cross for Jake True, and there was nothing Oliver Kalatz could do. As Marconi take the lead inside 20 minutes here at Lambert. How do they respond now? Burney to take the throw. I have a feeling that there's little battles all over the pitch. And where this game's going to be won and lost, it's the old football cliche in midfield, but I have a feeling it's going to be on this APIA left-hand side. Rory Jordan in for Jack Stewart going up against Tyron Burney. Jesic has his footprints all over the opening 20 minutes here at Lambert. His assist, Mate Busic. Lovely feet from Busic. Hounded by Caspers, dragged down, flags gone up. There's a great finish from Tyron Burney. I think it's rattled off the post from my angle. Looked like it was in. Doesn't matter anyway because Burney was offside, and APIA just need to compose themselves a little bit. Marconi all over them, like sugo on pasta at the moment. And APIA, after making a good start, a little bit of chaos has descended. Just as I say that, stray pass from the always reliable Eddie Caspers. Marconi on top here and a goal up. Just knew this game. There was no chance this game could have been a fizzer. Not with how these two teams are playing. Marconi undefeated, APIA going for 3 straight. Even though it's first v 5th, almost feels like this could be a little crystal ball, potentially into maybe a prelim final or even a grand final. Marconi with the lead, and as I mentioned earlier, they've passed every test so far asked of them in 2025. Grand final rematch, tick, 2-1 win at Rockdale. Battle of the undefeated teams against Spirit, and it's their third big test, you could say, all of them away from home. Heavy touch slightly, but a good recovery from Griffiths. Busek on the ball now. He's really growing into this game. Getting more and more confident with each touch and step over. That goal from Jake True was his first league goal of the season. He did get a double in a 2-1 win over Bankstown City in the Australia Cup, but after making the move over from Wollongong, scoring 10 goals last season for the Wolves, the ex-Wolf has the opening goal in this Derby d'Italia. Stanzo takes the free kick there, right in front of the Joe Marsden Pavilion. So much history in both these teams. You want to talk about a factory of iconic players. The late great Joe Marsden, the first Australian to play in an FA Cup final. You could rattle off a shopping list of ex-Socceroos that have played for these two great clubs. Of course, players have played for both. Peter Catholos, Nathan Milgate, retired last season with Marconi, scored the winner while playing for APIA in one of the most famous, if not the most famous, Australia Cup upset in history, when APIA defeated the defending A-League champions at the time, Melbourne Victory, 2-1 back in 2018. Both these teams looking for an Australia Cup run again. Of course, they met in that competition last season here at Lambert Park. A 2-1 win for APIA. Bernie intercepts. Great start from him, and the goal scorer Drew's dragged down by Sparacino. Itzakovic doesn't hesitate. Free kick. Marconi on top at the moment, it has to be said. Something had to give heading into this game. APIA, no team, scored more goals this season than APIA Leichhardt, just like was the case in 2024. Best attack against the best defence. And so far, the best defence is holding up. Can Marconi add a second goal? Start a step once again from Bayliss. It's a curving free kick, but straight into Oliver Kallitz's lap. And he gets us started straight away. No Jack Stewart, but plenty of goal scorers in this APIA team. Presley Ortiz, second at the moment in the New South Wales NPL Golden Boot race. Jordan Segredo once again in good goal scoring form as well. He has 5 goals this season. But APIA can get goals from anywhere. Saya Kambayashi scored in his last 3 games, if you include an Australia Cup game as well. 10-0 win against Nepean. And it's Kambayashi who's pressing Griffiths. Ooh, slightly heavy touch there from Windus. But had it under control. The ex-Central Coast Mariners, Sparacino, Doesn't get clean contact on the header. Ends up falling fortuitously for APIA. Kalatz, son of the great spider Zelko Kalatz, ex-AC Milan and Socceroos goalkeeper. George Daniel, another ex-Central Coast Mariner. Ball falls fortuitously for True, squares it up across goal, and it's in! Jake True was the provider in this instance, and APIA absolutely stunned here at Lambert Park. They are down by 2-0. True, the scorer of the first, the provider of the second. Marko Jesic celebrates, and Marconi lead by 2-0. I'm going to have another look at who got the final touch. Marconi won't care who got the final touch because the outcome is the only thing that matters. And that is Marconi 2, APIA 0. They weathered the storm, Marconi, and now they are handing out punishment in this Derby d'Italia. How do APIA respond? APIA have been on the receiving end of a couple comebacks, 2-0 up. They did come back from behind here after leading 2-0 against Rockdale in the game of the season in season 2025 so far. Now, they're going to have to come back. They have got a mountain to climb here. It may have even been an own goal. So APIA get a free kick, and a hush has certainly descended on the sideline here at Lambert Park. APIA go long. Those two chances that were so close to producing the opening goal feel like a distant memory now. Eddie Casper's shot rattling the crossbar. And Presley Ortiz dragging a good chance wide, but that is a distant memory because Marconi lead by 2-0. Jake True, the ex-Wollongong Wolf, scorer of the first, provider of the second. Up you get a free kick here. Segredo not happy with the tackle. Maybe he'll take a little moment of magic. No card yet. The APIA Ultras want a card. They're not going to get it, but what they are going to get is a free kick. Segredo standing over the ball. Another ex-Mariner in this game. Plenty of ex-Central Coast Mariners. Cameron Windust, George Daniel, and the man standing over the ball, Jordan Segredo. Can APIA find a way back into this game from the dead ball? Nothing dead about this derby. It has had everything so far except an APIA goal. Can they get a way back into the game? Jordi Segredo, one of the competition's most electrifying players. Can he have an electrifying moment? Adrian Chino standing over it as well. I have a feeling it's going to be the ex-Mariner. Captain walks away. Segredo with the free kick. It's low and curling, and it ends up being easy pickings there for James Hilton. He's only picked the ball out of the back of his net 7 times in 11 games. So scoring against Marconi is tough. Scoring 2 against them, it's going to be even harder. But if there's a team that can do it, it's the best attack in New South Wales. Windust. After a great start from APIA, it's been all Marconi since that goal. Here they come again, dispossessing APIA. We're just half a second off at the moment. That final pass, that final touch, just Marconi getting to every loose ball. Here's Daniel, cross-whipped into the back post. It goes over everyone, and Rory Jordan's going to let that one go out for a throw. Well, the crowd here is a little bit stunned, and they might be thinking this is deja vu to when these teams met last June in the league. Marconi winning that day 4-1. Here they come again. Jesic with the cross. It took a touch off Sean Simmons, and it took the fizz off the cross. Fell kindly for Callets, who gets us underway. A little bit of urgency creeping in. They don't want that urgency to turn into panic. We've seen a couple rushed passes and sprayed passes and bad touches. It's just all Marconi at the moment in the Derby d'Italia. If they were to win this afternoon, they would pull equal with their rivals in terms of all-time wins. APIA currently with 35 wins. Marconi with 34, 18 draws. Win here would move at 35 apiece. And Presley Ortiz, that's what I'm talking about at the moment. Just APIA unable to string anything together, and they're on the back foot once again. Sean Simmons getting back there to help out his brother and Anthony Sparacino. Given away by APIA again, and Costanzo's bursting forward. This could be three. Good low save by Oliver Callats, keeps his team in it. It falls back to Busek. Bernie. Ball still with Marconi here, can't get a shot away. Relentless pressure from Marconi. Busek, another step over. Confidence grows with each one. Just as I say that, I put the commentator's curse on him. Slightly heavy touch. And APIA survive for now. Bernie trying to thread the needle forward. True, and Johnny Simmons has had to do a lot of defending in this opening half. Sends it out for a corner. Still about 13 minutes to go here. Marconi showing why they are the defending undefeated champions in New South Wales. They have been relentless since going 1-0 up, and Ivica is going to settle some argy-bargy going on in the penalty area. And Marconi very dangerous from set pieces. Both their goals in their top of the table clash against Spirit a couple weeks ago came from a corner. Lachlan Griffiths is a popular target. They get another set piece goal and extend their lead to 3. Bayless with the stutter step. Low cross. Jesic tried to flick it on with a back heel. That would have been incredible. Not that time. Well done from Bayless, though, just to keep APIA pegged in their own half. And the home team having to fight tooth and nail for every inch. They well on the back foot here. Marconi cruising with a 2-goal lead. Lovely feet from Seiya Kambayashi. Little bit of space now to look for the long diagonal for Segredo. Header from Daniel might still fall for Presley Ortiz. Here he is on the ball now. Would love him to get his 10th of the season. Segredo, 2 ex-Mariners going at it. Segredo and Windus tries to find the cross, and the Marconi defender able to block that one and send it out for a corner. Just like the fellow Australian cousins, APIA with plenty of tall timber to do damage from this quarter and find the way back into this game. Just joining us now, about 10 minutes to go. After a great start from the home team. Marconi got the opening goal, and since then, It's been all the team from Broadsley Park. APIA looking for a way back into this game, which they trail by 2-0. They have the corner now. Hilton at full stretch, and it was Presley Ortiz or maybe Joel Bertolicio who got there first. And APIA very close. It was a man with one of the best names in New South Wales, Presley Ortiz, who got his head on that one first. Hilton was at full stretch, but the header goes over the bar. Relief for Marconi. Great turnout here at Lambert Park. It's really filled up now. The rain may have scared people off at the start, but the sun's starting to poke through the clouds. Segredo tried to poke that one past another ex-Mariner. Beautiful sight here at Lambert. Stand on either side of me full. People packing into the Joe Marsden Pavilion as well. They'd love a goal now. This opening 35 minutes definitely lived up to Franco Parisi's sexy football tag, but fortunately not the outcome he would love in the opening 35 minutes. So far, still plenty of football to be played here in Leichhardt. Simmons goes long looking for Ortiz, and Marconi backline, which has been a brick wall in season 2025, standing tall once again. Hilton goes long, flicked on, only had a catch. I think we have second balls because that one's ended up on the street. Marconi. Eight wins, 3 draws coming into this game. Past every test thrown their way, and in the opening 37 minutes here, passing this one with flying colours, but they're on the back foot now. Caspers, his early shot rattled the crossbar. Rory Jordan in for Jack Stewart, a very handy replacement. Can't find room there though, and we talk about players growing with confidence. Each tackle, each header won by this back line, you can just see an extra ounce of energy. This man's had a great opening half. Busek sends that ball to orbit there. A little bit of gamesmanship. Mr. Busek. Sean Simmons gets us back underway. Uccino played in so many Derby d'Italias. It's been a part of so many iconic games for this historic football club. Going to need to find another great comeback here. First half goal would help. Ortiz looks up, looking for Jordan, and Bernie, who's been everywhere in this opening half, ends it out for a corner. So feels like APIA last maybe 2-3 minutes just evening up the arm wrestle a little bit. It was all Marconi after they scored the first goal, and like an avalanche could have been coming here. We had some monsoonal rain in the morning. Like could have rained goals. APIA wrestling back, control slightly. Hilton at full stretch once again. Corner at the front post. Kambayashi pokes it for Simmons. Take 2 from the corner spot. Dancing and weaving, trying to get through, and as has been a theme in this first half, Marconi rock solid at the back. Trying to find some space now. Low shot, took a deflection. When that happens, it's always hard in mouth stuff for the goalkeeper, but took a very fortuitous one for Marconi, and the flag was up anyway. So many iconic players. Favourite sons for both these clubs. Vela, Jesic, the Simmons brothers, Uccino, but it's players experiencing Derby d'Italia football for the first time that are making their impact. Jake True, scorer of the first goal, provider of the second. That's the story of this game. This man's been fantastic as well. Bernie and clipped the heels of Uccino and fell kindly for Kalatz, who rifles it forward straight away. Nothing going right for APIA at the moment. They were adamant the throw should have gone the other way. Right in front of that Joe Marsden Pavilion, I'll tell you what, which is packed out like the Coogee Pavilion today. Is Derby d'Italia the hottest ticket in town? Living up to the hype so far, but as it stands, the champions in control. They lead by 2-0. You don't want to come back from 2-0 in any scenario, but not when you're facing the best defence in the competition. This man was February's best defender. Tyrone Burney plays it back for Bayless. Floats a ball in, it's a good ball. Simmons gets a header away, it falls to Mr. Marconi. Brandon Vella goes out for a throw. That would have been sensational. APIA might just want half-time here, which isn't too far away, a chance to compose themselves. They've got very capable players on the bench who can change the game. Michael Kuda returning to the bench. Alex Denmead has become a super sub this season, also ready to be called upon in the second half. Here's Busek looking for the 1-2 with Jesic. Ball was slightly behind him. Sparacino slides, which usually on AstroTurf would sting, but this AstroTurf is well lubricated. Caspers gets it restarted quickly. Uccino. He's possessed by Windass. Chance for Marconi to break. Lovely touch from Costanzo. He's got Jesic in the middle. Busek making his run too. He finds Mate Busek on the edge of the box. Mate Busek. Great block from Sparacino, because that was goalward. Had the perfect angle of it. I tell you what, Oliver Kalatz may have been in trouble. Mate Busek having a fantastic first half. They go long, looking for True. Without question been the player of this first half. He wins his team a corner. As the minutes tick away in the opening half of the Derby d'Italia. Marconi cruising at the moment, but APIA capable of scoring goals in bunches. No team this season, just like was the case last season, scored more goals than the team from Leichhardt. But they have to defend this corner where Marconi are dangerous. Can they add a third? Costanzo's corner. Kalatz was a full stretch. Header away, it falls to Vella. APIA going to have to defend the second cross. Segredo does well to block the cross, but it goes out for a corner. Little break in play. Gives me a chance to catch my breath. Opening half has absolutely flown by here at Lambert. You knew this game wasn't going to be goalless, that's for sure. Marconi in control in the 88th Derby d'Italia. Can they get another set-piece goal here? Third would be a killer blow right before half-time. Crossing to the near post. Header away by Bertolicio. Marconi in no rush here. They're going to let seconds tick off in the first half. They are in cruise control, the team from Bosley Park. Of course, a couple big departures from that title-winning team. James Temelkovsky, Hiroyuki Ayama. You know what, though? You wouldn't be able to notice from how they've been playing in season 2025. Great business done in the transfer window. That man going for the tackle. Jake True. He and Tyrone Burney. A couple of new signings have made profound impact on this game. Which their team lead, Kambayashi, just not on the same wavelength there as Ortiz. And True is coming back from an offside position. He leaves it for Busek, who's been fantastic in this first half. Cross was just slightly behind Marko Jesic, it didn't matter anyway because APIA intercepted. The wind is really starting to pick up here at Lambert. APIA hounding down. Great press there. 2-on-1 handicap match between Costanzo and Jesic, but here come APIA breaking right before half-time. Jordan going up against Bernie, looking for some space. He does find some space. Half-shouted handball. Ivicakovic, the referee, was in the perfect position, and he waves it away. Costanzo entangled up with Simmons. A little bit of afters there as well. Bit of frustration starting to creep in for APIA, who did make a good start to this game, but they find themselves down by 2-0, and 2 is the magic number because we're going to get 2 minutes of added time here in the first half on this Anzac Day weekend. Beautiful ceremony pre-game. Darby Sulgo coming into this game. A couple of pushes, and it's been a pretty cruisy opening half for Ivicakovic, our referee. Costanzo looking for True. Heavy tackle there, a fair one from Costanzo. They go long for Windass. Unable to deal with the first ball, but deals with the second. And what he has filled in for Anton Mlinaric seamlessly. Huge blow, losing March's the reigning Defender of the Month. The former Central Coast Mariner has filled in brilliantly so far. His team leads by 2-0. Uchino looks out wide for Bertolicio. Bit of space for Bertolicio here. Slightly heavy touch. Gets it back off Kambayashi. Shawnee Simmons, one of Apia's favourite sons. Can he get his team back in the game? Go long. It's the other Simmons brother. Coolly done there for Uchino. Sparacino showing off that left foot that Franco Parisi loves. Jordan's throw may have got picked up by this wind, which is really swirling around like a washing machine. Vela was looking for True. Nice work from Bertolicio. Sold the dummy there brilliantly. But then the ball's given away. Costanzo's bursting forward, and they find him. And no, they do not. And that is the end of a fantastic opening 45 minutes, which, despite a great start from the home team, has been controlled by the defending champions, who lead by 2-0. Here's still plenty of football to be played. If you're an Apia fan, the team has the best attack in New South Wales. They're going to need something, though, because the hill that they had to climb after going 1-0 down, thanks to a Jake True goal, became a mountain after he was the provider for the second. Still plenty of football to be played, though, so if you're going to go get a drink, make sure it's an espresso. And if you're going to the bathroom, make sure it is a number 1, because the second half is on the other side of this break. Hope you guys did what you had to do during halftime. You're fueled up. You got your snacks next to you wherever you're watching. Because you want to be glued to the next 45 minutes of this Derby d'Italia. Billed as un assaggio di Serie B, a taste of Serie B. And I tell you what, if this is just a taste, I'll be buying it. Because we were treated to a fantastic, very fascinating opening 45 minutes. We nearly had a goal in the opening minute from Marconi. Frantic start. APIA nearly scored the opening goal on 2 occasions. Eddie Kaspers with, to throw back to a APIA greater, Charlie Yankos-esque thunderbolt, which rattled the crossbar. Presley Ortiz has been close on a couple of occasions, but after Jake True scored the opener, Marconi went bang, bang. He was then the provider of the second goal, which went down as a Joel Bertolicio own goal. And the Marconi backline, which came into this round as the best defence in the New South Wales NPL. It has stood tall once again. They have a commanding 2-0 lead. Drama is never far away when these two teams meet in any competition. APIA no strangers to storybook comebacks, games of football. They're going to need one here. Down by 2-0 against the defending undefeated champions, who look like they've just gone from strength to strength. Finished the season in 2024 in second place, defeating Rockdale 3-0 in the final. Turning into our runaway leaders, though, in 2025, and they're running away from this game. And yes, it's just a run away from Josh Simmons, but the veteran centre-back gets there too. That's great players in this competition. APIA's title charge, their title defence, ran out of steam last season. They're on the back foot here, though. Here is Jake True getting back. There was Joel Bertolicio making amends for that first half own goal. Not much he could have done, in fairness to him. He sends it out for a corner. That APIA title defence ran out of steam last season. They are our reigning Waratah Cup champions. So we have a bit of a Super Cup style scenario here, where we have the reigning champions against the reigning Cup competition champions. And it's 2024 NPL champions in control here. Stutter step once again from Bayless, looping ball to the back post. Windus heads it back across goal. All it needs is a touch. And it was very close. It's Marko Jesic at full stretch. Half a second from my angle, looked like it may have crept in, but Ollie Kalats, who's a very cool customer in between the sticks for APIA, had it under control and he saw it out for a goal kick. APIA without Jack Stewart today, who's accounted for 5 of their goals this season, but plenty of goal scorers on the pitch. Kambayashi scored in his last 3. Here he is. He thought he was shoved by Griffiths. Ortiz, if you count Ortiz's cup goals, he's already in double digits this season. A goal today would bring him to double digits in the league. Lovely switch from Costanzo on the touch. Just allowed Bertolicio to mop it up and play it back to his goalkeeper. Both these teams have done a fantastic job in the last couple of seasons replacing goal scorers. Every big player that they've lost, they've managed to replace APIA during the Parisi tenure. Players like Jason Romero, Jack Armson, Ben Gibson as well. You're going to need 2 goals at least here to get something out of this game. Kambayashi looks up, cuts inside. Bertolicio to his left. Patient build-up from APIA. Every player behind the ball for Marconi, and they're very slick. Away kits, not wearing the traditional Italia green, white and red. Gorgeous kits from both teams. On this Anzac Day weekend, Derby d'Italia, beautiful Anzac ceremony pre-game. Made this game feel even more special. Kambayashi, beautiful build-up play from APIA, very patient, at least 20 plus passes there. A little bit of an anticlimax as that one sent onto the road. Great definition of a suburban ground here, Lambert. Park your car right in front if you're lucky. I think there's a couple spots reserved. Adrian Ochino's got one for sure. Hard to find the park today though. It's the hottest ticket in town, Derby d'Italia, the 88th edition, which Marconi lead. They would pull equal in all-time wins with their rivals. But Delicio's looking for some room. He can't find it because there were 3 Marconi players there. Costanzo, True wanted it at his feet. He goes long. Falls to Sparacino. APIA posted a great video. 2 super fans going at it, arguing who's had the more iconic players. Hard to split them. They both had so many iconic Socceroos, and not just Socceroos as well. Italian internationals. Bovieri played for Marconi. Iglesias, goalkeeper, ex-Real Madrid goalkeeper. Played for APIA. Gianfranco Zola in a cameo in claret and blue as well. Jesic, ball slightly ahead of the ageless Marconi captain. Here's Costanzo. Going up against Simmons, looking for room for the cross. Ball straight to Uchino. Clearance as far as Busek, who was fantastic in the first half. And he nearly had a beautiful goal. Go with his beautiful opening 50 minutes. Flashy player. You could just see every time Busek got around the defender with a step over, his confidence grew and he's been a real handful. Hilton goes long. Hasn't had too much to do. They have had chances, but couldn't do much about them. One rattled the crossbar, one from Presley Ortiz was pulled wide. Lee Kalats, though, a couple big saves. He did make one with the score 2-0. How key could that be I have a feeling you can never write APIA off, particularly with the amount of firepower they have. But if they were to go 3 goals down against the best defence in the league, that mountain would be Everest. Of course, people climb Everest all the time. APIA, the longer this game goes, the more difficult this task will be for them. Patchy start for APIA. They came into this game in 5th position. They could be sitting even prettier if they didn't let a couple 2-goal leads slip. They were 2 goals up against Jake True's former team, the Wollongong Wolves, on the opening day. Ended up getting pegged back 3-3. Did the same thing against St. George FC. We're having a great season this year, it has to be said. As the lights come on. Floodlights still off at the moment. The lights on top of the pavilion is... Daylight savings is well and truly over in New South Wales. You can feel it. It's a cold, windy one, but thankfully the rain has stayed away. In neutral, would have been hoping that it was raining goals. You got 2 of them in the opening half. One to Jake True, and then he set up an own goal. Last touch of Joel Bertolicio. Many iconic players and teams have donned these 2 proud Italo Australian jerseys. The great 1987 team, managed by the immortal Rally Rasic for APIA. Marconi, a Socceroos factory. Consistently producing some of our greatest ever Socceroos. Matty Ryan, Mark Schwarzer, Paul Ocon. Cross-whipped in looking for Marko Jesic. And more recently, continued to be a pathway into the A-League, which is where one of the heroes from that grand final, James Timokowski and Hiro Aoyama, found themselves, moving to Western Sydney and Perth, respectively. Ben Gibson had 19 goals last season for APIA. After making the move from Sydney FC, signed for Newcastle. Here's the ex-Mariner Segredo. Hooks it forward for Ortiz. Finds it back for Jordan Segredo. Can he find his team back into this game? Not that time. Couldn't find any room for the shot. Ended up turning into a cross from Tyrone Burney, who's been fantastic, it has to be said. What a signing he's been. Came over from Blacktown City, immediately has announced himself. He's made a claim of being one of the best defenders in the league. His teammate Anton Menaric make a good shout for that claim as well. He's out today, but goes out for a corner. Should be taken by Seiya Kambayashi. It was an identical position to corner. Set up Presley Ortiz last week against Manly. Goal and an assist there. They would love that. And their Japanese superstar here. Queuing up at the back post, APIA. Kambayashi to take the corner. APIA looking for a way back into this game. Floated into the middle. And Dom Costanzo just sends that one anywhere. Kambayashi keeps it in though. Josh Simmons has stayed forward. They go in his direction. It falls to Jordan Segredo, who pulls his shot. He is capable of the spectacular, but not that time. Still with APIA here. And it's a great save from Hilton, who preserves Marconi's 2-goal lead. James Hilton at full stretch there to deny APIA a way back into this game, and showing why he has conceded the least amount of goals in the competition this season. But it is going to be another APIA corner, which Sean Simmons will take this time. Good start to the second half for the home team. They made a good start to the first half as well, but find themselves down. And they get a lifeline. Still plenty of football to be played. Right in front of those APIA Ultras. It's floated into the back post. And it back across goal. And it's ricocheting around like a pinball machine. Hilton couldn't get full grasp, but he was fouled, says referee Ivica. Relief there. Let off for Marconi. plenty of tall timber. He put his body on the line. Hilton, who I said hasn't had too much to do, and just as I said, he's been called into action, making a great save and then getting trampled on. Goalkeepers are a different breed, though. He's going to take that goal kick. I don't know if you can see them. They're right on top of that Desane Properties banner. There's at least 20 to 30 young APIA fans. They had flags. They had a megaphone. Great to see youngsters coming out and supporting this competition, and what a time to do it with the second division just around the corner. New South Wales NPL football is buzzing. APIA doing great things to promote people coming to this game, and on board with some NPL podcasts, the Champagne Football Show, NPL from the Gantry, United by Football, all doing great work, boosting exposure for this league. Fantastic potties as well, all three. I highly recommend you check out all their pages. And great things for this league. Bernie bursting forward. Great tackle by Uchino. Fall for Jake True. He, at the moment, I don't do the 3-2-1, but he'd be a big shout. Mate Busek. His game deserves a goal. Tyron Bernie may not want a goal, but he'd love a clean sheet. Busek with the cross. Floats over everyone's head, but Alicio header away. Marconi first to the second ball. Costanzo looking for a bit of space. Domenico Costanzo, and Jordan gets back there. Just sends it anywhere. Half second there. It looked like maybe Mundas was going to invite Ortiz, but he deals with that one comfortably. Bayless. George Daniel trying to get around Segredo, and he does. Ex-Mariner on ex-Mariner there. Bit of activity on that APIA bench. Looks like Drayden Kelly, the defender, warming up. So Eddie Casper's going to make way. Walking a little bit gingerly. No, I beg your pardon. It's going to be Adrian Uchino coming off. So double change for APIA as they look for a way back into this game. It's two veterans making way. Josh Simmons and Adrian Uchino coming off. Drayden Kelly and Maxim Kasalovic coming on for APIA. Kelly on to shore up that back line, coming on for Josh Simmons. APIA have made that change quite a few times this season, a regular occurrence. And some fresh legs in midfield with another, you guessed it, ex-Mariners player, Maxim Kasalovic, coming on in midfield. APIA look to spark a Derby d'Italia comeback here at Lambert. Marconi in complete control. Just like they have been in every big game so far. They've gotten the match of the round, the treatment, quite a number of occasions, and they've lifted every single one of them, and they look like they're going to pass another huge test in their title defence. Not unless APIA can find a way back into this game. Jordan. APIA dealt a big blow pre-game, losing Jack Stewart. And they're going to get a free kick here. Good position. Way back into this game. Will they find it from a set piece? APIA 2 goals down. They've made a double change, and one of those substitutes, Drayden Kelly, trots forward. And you have a feeling this Marconi backline has been so rock solid that if they're going to get a way back into this game, it might need to be something like a set piece, a free kick, a little slice of luck. Tambayashi's going to take it. Penalty area is more crowded than the Joe Marsden Pavilion, which is absolutely packed as APIA fans watch this Kambayashi free kick eagerly. Can the home team get back into this game? Segredo's peeling off on the corner of the box. Arm up, floated into the back post and over the head of everyone. Maybe Segredo was the option there. Little free kick routine, and James Hilton is going to be in no rush to take this. Marconi, when and if they decide to go to their bench, have plenty of firepower there. Franco Meyer's been working his way back from injury. He's on the bench. Afghan international Jawad Razai is there as well. Ex-Western Sydney wanderer Liam Yulee, who captained the team midweek, is also on the bench. And Alexander Govzdanovic, who scored a double midweek. Plenty of firepower on that Marconi bench. As it stands, though, they might not need it. They're up by 2-0. Today's Derby d'Italia, the match of the round. One of 5 games in New South Wales this Sunday on this Anzac Day weekend. You guys have all enjoyed a lovely Anzac Day weekend. Bit of rest. Marconi get a free kick here. I beg your pardon. APIA get a free kick here. Rory Jordan pleading with Ivica Kovic. That's a mismatch in height. Ivica Kovic would have looked out of place with a basketball in his hand. Some big referees in New South Wales. Craig Fisher as well, the bodybuilder. Mr. Ivica Kovic, built like Ante Kovic. Kambayashi to take it. APIA haven't made anything from these set pieces yet. And the Japanese number 2 unlock the Marconi brick wall and get his team back in the game. Kasalovic is standing on the edge of the box. So is Ortiz. Training Kelly. Sean Simmons lurking at the back post. They float it into the middle. Windust got up there. Still not dealt with completely and then sent away to safety, but it falls to Jordan. Couldn't bring the ball down. A little bit of confusion. They get a head on it. It's a 3-on-1 here for Marconi. Marko Jesic bursting forward. He plays Mate Busic, who's in on goal. Great low save by Oliver Kalatz. And then the ricochet of Rory Jordan nearly went in, and thankfully for APIA and the ex-Newcastle Jet, it didn't go in and he was able to send it out for a throw. Huge let-off for APIA. From an attacking free kick to a counter-attack where they looked gone. 3 Marconi players bearing down on goal, but it's the APIA goalkeeper who keeps them in it. Danger not over yet, though, for the home team. True floats it in just over the head of Marko Jesic. Vela. Here's Griffiths looking for Costanzo. Lovely feet from Jake True. Trying to find some space for the cross. He finds it. It was a good ball too. Backpedaling with Sparacino. It falls for Bernie. Takes a ricochet. It goes out. No, it doesn't. Callas does well. Frantic stuff. APIA still in it though. Mate Busic deserves a goal, and here he is, winning his team a free kick. Good thing on YouTube you can scrub back, because I can't, but I recommend you guys at home scrub back and take a look at that counter-attack. It was a disaster for APIA. Attacking free kick, then headed away from Marconi. They don't deal with the bouncing ball, which, to be fair, it is very windy. It's when the ball goes in the air, it's like putting it in the washing machine. It swishes and whirls around. Marconi don't deal with it. APIA don't deal with the bouncing ball, and they were nearly punished. Here they are, though, defending this free kick. Minutes ticking away. 20 and a little bit of change to go. Kambayashi keeps it in. Busek running as if it's minute 1. Griffiths. Vela. Plays it out to Bernie. Linking up with Bayless there and unable to find the cross. It was blocked by Kelly. Apia trying to burst forward. Segredo entangled up. Lovely tackle from Daniel. Big tackle right in front of that Apia bench. Gets a roar from Parisi and co. Apia are to get something out of this game, they're going to have to do something that nobody has done this season, and that is score 2 goals in a game against Marconi this season. As the minutes start to tick away, the floodlights come on. The hill is turning into Everest. Kasalovic. One of the double changes from Franco Parisi. Looks like they're going to make another double change. Marconi haven't had to look to their bench yet. They go long. Tyron Bernie and the rest of that back line will love seeing that. See it out for a throw. Etch more precious seconds off this clock. Apia are going to make that change now. Alex Denmead coming on for Rory Jordan. Denmead's been a super sub and a goal scorer in every competition he's played in. They would love a goal from him here. Ortiz. Unable to add to his tally yet. 9 goals for the number 9 so far, but none today for him or his team. Segredo gives away the free kick. You just sense a little bit of frustration starting to creep in for Apia. Alex Denmead, the 3rd change for Franco Parisi. He tries to pull this game out of the fire. Rory Jordan making way. Spoke about Alex Denmead has scored goals. He's got 4 goals for the first grade team, 3 goals for the under-20 team, and 3 goals in the cup this season. 10 goals across 3 different competitions, off just 1 start for the first grade team for Alex Denmead. They would love one from him here. Heavy tackle. Waved away by Ivicakovic. Bit of space out on the right-hand side for Bertolicio. He's got Ortiz peeling off to the edge of the box. Presley Ortiz going up against Costanzo. Everyone back at the moment, except Jake True, who's a little bit slow to his feet. Bertolicio. Marconi yet to make a change, but so far sitting on a comfortable 2-goal lead. Denmead, the super sub. Can he get his team back into the game? Alex Denmead. Kasalovic on the ball now. He thought he was fouled. It falls to Segredo. Daniel there once again, and now Marconi break. Lovely feet from Costanzo. He thought he was fouled. Ivicakovic was almost on top of him, had the perfect view, disagreed. Play continues. Bertolicio, Kambayashi. Almost basketball screen there from Vela. Free kick for Apia. And a yellow card for Mr. Marconi. Brandon Vela. He's using a basketball term there, almost a screen there, preventing the 1-2. This game has been played with the perfect amount of derby passion from the players. Ivicakovic hasn't had too much to deal with. couple of niggling challenges, but it's been played fairly, and the opening 70 minutes here is absolutely flown by. Do we have dramatic final 20 minutes in this Derby d'Italia? APIA have had countless free kicks and set pieces, but unable to breach the Marconi brick wall they came into this game. With that record still intact, unless APIA can change things here. Floated into the back post. Brandon Kelly was shot out of a cannon there. Unable to get clean contact to James Hilton, who had a pretty pedestrian opening 50 minutes or so. He was thrust into action, making a great low save. This man has been the difference. Jake the Truth True. The ex-Wollongong Wolf scored the first, set up the second, and that is the difference so far. Segredo goes long, looking for Denmead, and it doesn't sit up on this super slick AstroTurf, which is as quick as the M5. With all the water that we've had in Sydney, and also a pre-game sprinkler session. Marconi get the free kick. APIA filthy about it. They go long, looking for Jesic. Salovic gets back there. Salovic with plenty of room. Segredo's peeling off to the right. One ex-Mariner to another. Jordi Segredo is February's midfielder of the month. As it stands, Marconi will draw level with APIA on all-time wins in the Derby d'Italia. This heavy shoulder-to-shoulder challenge there, that's a rookie and a vet matchup between Eddie Kaspers and Marco Jesic. Play on. Bertolicio looks up, finds Seiya Kambayashi. His goal-scoring run, 15 minutes from ending, came into this game having scored in 3 straight games. Half a shout at handball. Ortiz. Can their number 9 spark a comeback? Windust does enough. Ortiz got a touch on it. Some heavy contact there with him. And Griffiths, who might be a little worse for wear after that one. Still plenty of football to be played this season. We're not even at the halfway stage. This is round 12 out of 30. Marconi came into this game 5 points clear of Spirit, who drew last night against St. George FC, needed a last-minute goal to rescue a point. And at this stage, APIA would take that. Of course, a team like APIA Leichhardt Football Club always wants 3 points. They have run into the Marconi juggernaut. And at this stage, looks like the Stallions' unbeaten run will continue. We saw a wild comeback here a few weeks ago. APIA 2 goals up against Rockdale. Rockdale pulled it back to 2-2. They ended up leading 3-2. And then 2 late goals to Josh Simmons and Seiya Kambayashi. Pulled that one out of the fire. They will need something similar here to get at least a point. Kaspers is fouled. Jake True pokes that one forward and earns himself a spot in the book. So he's got a goal, an assist, and a card. The ex-Wollongong Wolf. Kasalovic. APIA have made 3 changes. It looks like they're going to make another one. Marconi 2 goals up. Denmead looking for some space. Lovely tackle from Griffiths. Such a great aerial threat Lachlan Griffiths has been this season. Rock solid defender as well. Pokes forward looking for True. He's offside. Was a big loss pre-game. No Jack Stewart for APIA. They've felt that absence of Mr. Giacomo Stewart. Big loss for them. Here's Segredo. Tolicio. Kasalovic. Plenty of room. Looking for something. Kambayashi. Kaspers. Patient, but a lot of side-to-side football from APIA. Looking for something a little more direct. They'll get a corner instead. The minutes are ticking away here. 88th Derby d'Italia, which is about 10 minutes and change away from being won by Marconi, who will continue their unbeaten run if they hold on here. They have to defend this corner. Be taken by Seiya Kambayashi. Looping corner, looped into the back post, headed back across goal. Kelly looking for clean contact that ricocheted off Bayless, and it ended up being nice and room service for Mr. Hilton in between the Marconi sticks. Ekes precious seconds off the clock. Lovely dummy there from Kambayashi. Releases Denmead, but getting back there is Tyron Burney, who fouls Alex Denmead. Up here looking to take it quickly. Vicakovic whips out a yellow card for Tyron Burney. Free kick in a great position here for APIA. Definitely within Jordan Segredo's shooting range. Vicakovic hasn't had to dish out too many cards in this game. His wrist has had an easy afternoon. Dishes out a yellow card there for Tyron Burney, who has been brilliant once again. The February Defender of the Month. His team sitting on a 2-goal lead, but they're going to have to defend this Jordan Segredo free kick. Well within his range. He is capable of the fantastic Segredo. Can he set up a box office finish here in the Derby d'Italia? It's Jordan Segredo. Low free kick, and Hilton was at full stretch, but he watched it the whole way go across his goal and out for a goal kick. And it's going to be APIA who make another double change, so F5 subs are used up. It's going to be Anthony Sparacino and Sean Simmons coming off. Michael Kuda comes on. In his return to the team, he's given the armband as well. And Nicholas Arzone. So APIA making 2 changes to their backline in a game where they need 2 goals at least. They go long. Header from True for Costanzo. Was always heading over the bar there. Costanzo's another player that is capable of highlight reel worthy goals. Not that time from Domenico. APIA go long. As has been a theme in this Derby d'Italia, Marconi's backline rock solid. Costanzo, great touch. He came back from an offside position. It's been a great afternoon here at Lambert Park. The crowd came in a little bit late. Maybe some of them scared off by the monsoonal rain we had last night and this morning. But when they came in, we were treated to a great opening half. But I have a feeling that a lot of them may be disappointed with what they're seeing. A strong APIA crowd here today, but it is the away team that lead by 2-0. in the Derby d'Italia, which has a bit of a Super Cup vibe today. APIA, defending Waratah Cup champions, down 2-0 against our defending champions, who less than 10 minutes away from continuing their unbeaten start to the season. Kambayashi wins his team a corner. Going to have to take it in front of those under-20s players that are warming up. That game will take place after this one. Will we get a grandstand finish here? Kambayashi to take the corner. Fizzed in. And the header rifles against the side netting. For half a second, I think some of the fans got excited. Looked like it may have crept in, but Hilton didn't look stressed. After this game, APIA go away to newly renovated Seymour Shore. They'll take on Sutherland. Marconi will look to continue their unbeaten start to the season, if they are to remain unbeaten today, which looks like they will. You would think they play Manly next week away from home. Kasalovic. APIA Ultras are still singing, which is great to see. Plenty of buzz in this fantastic competition. Such an exciting time in Australian football, and these two clubs are going to play a big part in the second division and this season, of course. Today's been a beautiful celebration of Italo-Australian football. Italians, like so many European migrant communities, have had such an influence on Australian football, South Americans as well. All made their mark in Australian football. We would not be here without them. Ball for Azorne, skips forward, and Jake True might need some pickle juice. He's been the difference today. A lot of standouts for Marconi. True's goal and assist, though, is the difference. And that right-hand side, they've been dynamite. Mate Busek, Tyrone Burney. That whole back four, rock solid. And it looks like the best defense is going to overcome the league's best attack. And it's the old football cliche. Defense wins you championships. Coney will be looking at that, hoping that that is the case. They can go back to back. Plenty of football to be played. Dom Costanzo comes off. Precious minutes in the legs for Franco Meyer, making his way back from injury. No stranger to this game, scored in it last season. Big player for Marconi in their title defence. They'll be happy to see him back. See out the rest of this game. Up you go long. And that has been a feature. Windus, Griffiths, George Daniel, doesn't matter who it is. They've all stood tall, and Liam Yulee also came on as well. Marconi looking to shut up shop here at Lambert and leave with 3 points, just like they did last season as well. Segredo. APIA needing something special here. They ought to get something out of this game. They get a throw. Kasalovic. Intercepted by Marconi, who have a chance to break now. Franco Myers just come on the pitch. Gets there ahead of Kelly. Great recovery, though, from the centre-back. Keeps his team in it. APIA need to turn attack into defence quickly. Segredo goes long. Lovely switch for Kambayashi. Just wasn't on the same wavelength as his teammate there. Marconi get a free kick. You could hear a collective groan on either side of me. It has been a champion's performance on the defending champs in New South Wales. Weathered the storm early in the first half and then went bang, bang. 2 goals in quick succession. And despite APIA having good spells on the ball, lots of set pieces, they haven't tested James Hilton's goal on too many occasions with clear-cut chances. Was forced to make a good low save, but I have to say majority of the good attacking chances after Joe Bertoliccio's own goal fell to Marconi. Kambayashi sends that one hopeful ball looking for Segredo. Hilton dives on it. Hilton goes long. No goal from Jesic today, but as influential as ever. Giving that APIA backline headaches, pressing like he always does, which is a feature of Marconi. Maya thought he was fouled. Kasalovic's pass for Bertolicio was slightly under hit. Here is Maya. Segredo dropping deep. Desperation time for APIA. Kuda. Goes long, bit of space. Farzone can bring it down. It was a tough one. Bertolicio venturing forward. Trying to get through a sea of bodies. Hilton was on the ground. Will it be headed in? It's cleared off the line. It wouldn't have mattered anyway because the flag came up straight away. Hilton was bamboozled a little bit by that ball on the ground. Tried the fist away. It ended up being skewed. Looped up to Seiya Kambayashi, whose header was cleared off the line. It wouldn't have mattered even if it was in because the flag was up. We're a couple of minutes away from the Derby d'Italia in the NPL theme being continued, and that is that the away team wins this derby. That's the case in both the league meetings. So we have 4 minutes of added time, 4 minutes for APIA to save themselves, pull this game out of the fire. Marconi 4 minutes away from continuing their unbeaten start to the season, claiming another huge scalp to add to wins over Rockdale, Sydney United. Top of the table win over Spirit as well. Marconi are the real deal once again. They look like they've levelled up from last season, the defending champions. Daniel gets back there, sends that one onto the roof. Anywhere will do for Marconi as they let precious seconds tick off the clock. This will complete a great week for them. 4-1 win midweek in the Cup to go with that 3-0 win last week. A third goal would be the cherry on top. They go long. Kasalovic. And you knew it was going to be a tough task when APIA fell a goal down. It's going to be extremely tough when they fell 2 down because no team has scored 2 goals in a game against Marconi this season, and that trend looks like it's going to continue. Maya does well to get there before Segredo. Vela bursting forward. Sends it to Jesic. He might be heading to the quarter flag. Vela, Marconi trying to keep it. It really is kitchen sink time now for APIA. Caspers, will we get a grandstand final minute or two here? Will it be another professional, routine, dominant display from the champions? Pass, miss here. And they burst forward Marconi and poke it forward to Marko Jesic. APIA almost resigned to defeat now. Plenty of space out wide for Maya if they find him. He does eventually, but APIA managed to get back there. Daniel, he's been fantastic as well. Continuing a great week for him. He scored last week against his former club. And rock solid in defence. It'll be a clean sheet, it seems. The best defence in the league. And another 3 points. As Marconi start to pull clear from the pack. Kelly looks long. Hit and hope stuff. Windust, who that's got to be at least his 6th or 7th header. He'll have a sore head tonight, but it'll be worth it because it'll be in a winning effort, it seems. APIA get a free kick. They're going to have to be quick. A bit of gamesmanship. They do go quick. Segredo into the palms of Hilton, who takes the fizz off the shot, dives on the ball, and that could be that here at Lambert. Goes to Jake True, and an own goal just set up by the goal scorer. But they continue Marconi's undefeated start. The champions have gone to another level and they claim a huge win in the 88th Derby d'Italia and pull all time with APIA in wins in this historic Australian football derby. It's been a great advert for Italo-Australian football. Marconi, the best defence, living up to that tag. They outdo the league's best attack goals to Jake True, who then set up a second goal, which last touch came of Joel Bertolicio. It was a rampant first half from Marconi, who, apart from a couple nervy moments, a good save from James Hilton, were in control for a majority of this game and show that they are once again the team to beat and are pulling clear at the top of the ladder in season 2025. My name is Adamo Denegris. It's been an absolute pleasure and an honour to call the 88th Derby d'Italia for you, which has been won by the away team. The Marconi Stallions have come to Lambert Park and defeated the home team, APIA Leichhardt Football Club, by 2-0. See you later. Have a good night.